Okay, all right. Good morning. My name is Nicole DeWitt, and I'm the Interim Deputy Superintendent for San Diego Unified School District. I want to welcome everyone to the Eugene Brucker Education Center, a future site for affordable housing. We've asked you to join us here today because our Board of Education, along with our District Superintendent, Dr. Bagula, recognize that the high cost of living in our region is affecting our families, students, educators, and staff. In December of last year, our Board of Trustees held a workshop to get feedback from the community and our educators about options to pursue making excess administrative properties available to build affordable housing. With us today are a few people who are not part of the program but have been instrumental in getting us here. And on behalf of the district, I would like to thank Trustee Shana Hazan, Lee Duggaroff, our District Senior Executive Director of Facilities Planning and Construction, Jennifer Lassar, founding CEO of Lassar Development Consulting, and our partners from the San Diego Community College District. Now you will hear from our board leadership along with union representatives to learn about 3 policies that will be voted on during Tuesday night's Board of Education meeting. I'd now like to introduce our Board of Education President, Cody Pedersen, to talk about the affordable housing crisis our region faces and share some details about the 3 policies.
So we'll adjust this microphone here. Always be worried when somebody has a speech that has a staple in it. That's a sign. Thank you, Nicole, and thank you to all of you here today. We have before us momentous decisions and momentous opportunities. Tomorrow night, our board will consider a 3-item housing package that will put our district and our city at the national forefront of education workforce housing. It has become a truism that we are in the grips of an affordable housing crisis. San Diego is the least affordable region in the country. We have utterly failed to produce housing that is affordable to working families. In the entire 5th RHNA cycle, which was 2021 to 2029, 2030, only 37 moderate income homes of 15,000 units allocated by SANDAG were produced in the city of San Diego. 37. In the last 5 years, we have done slightly better, but still abysmally, with 285 moderate income homes permitted of the 19,319 we were allocated for the 6th RHNA cycle, and only 10% of our low and very low targets. Our teachers and classified staff can no longer afford to live in the communities in which they work. Students are losing the experience, the profound benefit of having teachers who live in their neighborhoods, who are integral parts of their communities. Neighborhood schools should have neighborhood teachers. A society that prices teachers out of the communities in which they teach has lost its way. With 969 staff retiring this year, we are losing many of the last teachers who could afford to live in our communities, who bought their homes in the 80s or 90s and had wonderful careers in the communities in which they lived. The last time I saw Sid Franklin, La Jolla Elementary's beloved 6th grade teacher who passed at the age of 90 in 2020, he was reclining on a beach on Girard, downtown La Jolla, having a coffee in the sun. Our teachers and classified staff deserve to live, work, and retire in the communities they serve. Our students deserve teachers and custodians and principals who live in their communities. It profoundly impacts the quality of their education and social and emotional well-being. Toward that end, item 1 on our agenda will formally establish the goals and principles that will guide our education workforce housing endeavor, that will ensure that our developments are bustling, attractive, inviting, place-making projects, not only for our staff, but for the entire community. The second item of our housing package will be consideration of the actual request for proposals for our first 5 sites, excepting Livia, which is already built and housing our classified staff, and the old Central Elementary site, a contract for which has already been awarded. These sites are in our urban core. They are near not only our schools and other facilities, they are adjacent to jobs for spouses, partners, and dependents, high-quality transit, bike lanes, Balboa Park, the zoo, Old Town, restaurants, cafes, parks, and other natural, public, and private amenities. Precisely where we should be building homes for our families. We will be issuing RFPs for the Ed Center, where we are standing today, in the heart of Uptown, surrounded by University Heights, North Park, Hillcrest, Ballard Center in Old Town, Commercial Street in Southeastern Village, nestled between Sherman and Logan Heights, Revere Center in Linda Vista, and the Instructional Media Center in Birdland. We are eager to engage our communities over the next several months to better understand what they would like to see from projects, and hopeful that these RFPs will generate enthusiasm and proposals from affordable housing developers across the region and state and nation. Item 3 is a proposal to establish the San Diego Regional Housing Finance Authority with our longtime partner, the San Diego Community College District. The SDRHFA, that's an acronym that is short on vowels and appears to be pronounced SDRFA at this point. We'll have to work on that. Will be the first affordable housing finance authority established under Senator Nancy Skinner's Senate Bill 440, the Regional Housing Finance Act. San Diego will join the Bay Area Housing Finance Authority, BAFA, and the Los Angeles County Affordable Housing Solutions Agency, La CASA, now that's an acronym that works, La CASA, as the vanguard of a movement of the public taking responsibility to solve our affordable housing crisis where the private sector has thus far failed. With tomorrow's night's items, our district is committing to build, by the end of this decade, twice as many moderate income homes as have been permitted and produced in the last 15 years in the entirety of the city of San Diego. We are committing not only to housing at least 10% of our certificated and classified staff in the next 5 years, but to leading our region in the development of community-guided, job-adjacent, transit-supportive, mixed-income, affordable housing. Our district can only control what is within its purview. With the housing package that the board will consider tomorrow night, the San Diego Unified School District is announcing to our students, staff, families, and community that we are going to do everything in our power to house our staff and ultimately to help house our students and their families. With that, I would like to introduce my friend and colleague, the Vice President of our board, Richard Barrera.
Thank you, Cody. You know, as Cody was going over the policies that we're getting set to vote on tomorrow night, I am reminded of a conversation I had several years ago with a student at Hoover High School. And the conversation was about would she have an interest in pursuing a career as an educator and at some point actually coming back into our district and teaching in her community of City Heights. And we have been working for years, for really over a decade, on creating a pipeline of future educators in our district so we can have, you know, our incredibly bright, motivated students come back and teach and educate in our district. And she said, you know, I would love to pursue a career as an educator. I would love to come back and teach here in City Heights. But the reality is, given how expensive housing is in San Diego, I won't be able to do that. If I want to become a teacher, I'm going to have to leave San Diego. And if I want to live in San Diego, I'm going to have to pursue another career. And it was just a reality check to how central this issue of affordable housing is to what we're trying to accomplish as a school district. Sometimes people say, well, you're a school district. What are you doing developing housing? Well, if we can't recruit and retain our employees, and if our families can no longer afford to live in San Diego, it obviously directly impacts everything that we're trying to do as a school district. So what we're undertaking tomorrow night is a first step towards, as Cody talked about, actually being part of the solution, not sitting back and saying, housing affordability is the city's problem to solve, is the county's problem to solve. We know that as a school district, we can actually jump in and be a part of this solution. A couple of years ago, there was a research report done by people at Berkeley and UCLA, and they identified that in the state of California, school districts own 75,000 acres of property that could be developed into affordable housing that could yield 2.5 million housing units across our state. We know that we have the opportunity and frankly responsibility as school districts to jump into this issue and do something real. What we're doing tomorrow night is actually the largest scale effort of any school district anywhere in California to date of making our property available for the development of affordable housing for our employees. It's a first step for us. It's a big step for all school districts in the state of California. We're hoping that over the next decade, we're going to see more and more school districts jump in to this challenge so that we don't have to put our students, like the student at Hoover High School, in a position where they have to choose between staying in San Diego and becoming an educator or being able to find an affordable place to live. So this is a big undertaking that we're jumping into. It's so crucial that as we as a district jump into this work, we're doing it in partnership with our educators all the way through. And so we actually have made a commitment with our teachers, with our classified employees, to get to a point that over the next decade, we can offer affordable housing to 10% of the employees in our district. And leading us in that partnership is the president of the San Diego Education Association, Kyle Weinberg.
Thank you, Richard. As SDA union educators, we're seeing firsthand the impact of San Diego experiencing the highest cost of living increase in the country. It impacts our students whose families are struggling to keep up with the rising cost of housing, and it impacts educators who can't afford to live near the schools where we teach. Here's a story about a teacher who's an example of how the housing crisis and housing solutions affect educators in our region. To save money on rent, Carolina Sanchez Garcia from Rosa Parks Elementary was commuting from her home in Tijuana every day for more than 10 years. To get to work on time, she'd get up at 2 a.m., move her 5 kids into the car where they'd go back to sleep, and wait in line at the border for hours. Her kids would brush their teeth and get ready for school at a coffee shop. She and her family now live in the Livia complex in Scripps Ranch, paying roughly half the market rate for a 3-bedroom apartment. This was made possible through a partnership between San Diego Unified and an affordable housing developer. And this opportunity has changed her life. She said that, "My kids are sleeping more. I'm sleeping more. It's made me a better mother and a better teacher. Now I start my day feeling positive and energized." Stories like this one show that our union's fight for the schools that our students deserve must include addressing the housing crisis that is an obstacle to recruiting and keeping the highest quality educators in our district. We commend the San Diego Unified Board of Education and the superintendent for prioritizing affordable workforce housing by putting forward a policy to help at least 10% of employees get into affordable housing by 2035. As union educators in our district, we are encouraged that the district is stepping up to support employees and our families and is implementing new solutions to address the regional housing crisis. As we've demonstrated through working to pass the SDA-endorsed Measure U bond in 2022 that funds the construction of affordable employee housing, through establishing the housing supports agreement last year with the district, and the work of our housing committee, we have the right conditions in place to meet our affordable housing goals in San Diego Unified through our collaborative leadership. So now is the time to advance housing justice in our district. Let's make it happen together. And next up, we have CSEA President, para-educator from Claremont Canyons Elementary, Izzy Martinez.
Thank you. The mission of our union, the California School Employees Association, is to improve the lives of our members, students, and community here in San Diego. CSEA values innovation as we strive to improve our communities and empower our union members who work hard to serve these students. Our para-educators inspire our San Diego Unified students to become the best versions of themselves. We are the everyday heroes living in San Diego, many of us with our own families to support, who directly support students. From our campus supervisor assistants,
our Braille assistants, health technicians, rehab supervisors, and even our classroom paraeducators. Paraeducators deserve to come home to a place of their own, recharge, and provide for their own families. We look forward to the continued collaboration with the district in starting the necessary steps to make this happen. With the high cost of rent and living creating anxiety and fear for so many here working in San Diego County, including our members, many of them even struggle with homelessness while still showing up for our students every single day. Knowing our housing costs go up every year, it is difficult for us to even focus our attention on the needs of the students when our own basic needs are not being met. It gives us great hope that San Diego Unified leaders are helping to address this problem with innovation using available district property and supporting our classified professionals, our students, and our families whom we serve. California School Employees Association Local Chapter 759 is supportive of all three policies, and we hope the Board of Education supports all the working people by supporting us through these proposals on Tuesday night. Thank you.